In today's show, the stock to flow creator PlanB has no doubt that Bitcoin will hit $100,000 by December of 2021. As he shared in a recent tweet, people asked if I still believe in my model. To be clear, I have no doubt whatsoever that Bitcoin stock to flow X is correct, and Bitcoin will tap 100 to 288,000 before December 2021. In fact, I have new data that confirms the supply shortage is real. In my opinion, 2021 will be spectacular, not financial advice. And for Bitcoin to achieve 100 to 288,000 by December of 2021, Bitcoin would have to increase by 545% from the current price to surpass 100,000. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, why this analyst thinks Bitcoin will hit $17,000 in the next week. We're talking about Brian Krogsgaard, who goes on to share, I think there's a decent chance Bitcoin breaches 17,000 and even into 18,000 in the next 10 days. We are due for a decent mid-time frame blow off and chill for a bit, and wicking into the all-time high cluster just feels so right. The path to 18,000 or an all-time high wick seems the path of least resistance. Nobody wants to sell until then, and then everybody is buying dips. Easiest way to create market balance is to do it quickly and then let the market chop it around a bit. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also, breaking news. JP Morgan analysts say group of large investors may be ditching gold ETFs for Bitcoin. That's right. And according to JP Morgan, Bitcoin could rise 10x as it competes with gold for institutional investors. As Michael Sonnenschein points out right here, what makes the October flow trajectory for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust even more impressive is its contrast with the equivalent flow trajectory for gold ETFs, which overall saw modest outflows since mid-October, according to JP Morgan. We'll be discussing this in today's show. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin back on the move, up 2% for the day. Ethereum and most of the major altcoins are also back in the green, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button, that's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in attending this live event with Tika Twari entitled The Crypto Catch-Up, your last chance to get the life that you want, going down November 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, be sure to click the link right below the video. And as a free bonus just for attending, you will receive the name and ticker of Tika's top pick, absolutely free. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. Let's kick it off by diving into today's top story of the day. Stock to flow creator PlanB has no doubt Bitcoin will hit $100,000 by December of 2021. PlanB, the creator of the stock to flow model, reiterated on November 8th that Bitcoin is well on its way to hit $100,000. The pseudonymous analyst expects the dominant crypto to achieve the $100,000 to $288,000 range by December of 2021. That's right, so $100,000 is actually the projected low, according to PlanB. And for Bitcoin to achieve 100 to 288,000 by December of 2021, Bitcoin would have to increase by 545% from the current price to surpass 100,000. At that price point, the market cap of Bitcoin would be nearly $2 trillion, or roughly the same as Apple, the world's most valuable company. And checking out his tweet right here, he went on to share, people asked if I still believe in my model. To be clear, I have no doubt whatsoever that Bitcoin stock to flow X is correct, and Bitcoin will tap 100 to 288,000 before December 2021. In fact, I have new data that confirms the supply shortage is real. In my opinion, 2021 will be spectacular, not financial advice. I am not uncertain. And checking out some of the responses to this tweet, this dude wrote, what is your skin in the game? You're anonymous. If your model fails, you can just delete Twitter and disappear. And then PlanB responded, you don't seem to understand. One of the reasons for me to be anonymous is that I do not want you to trust me based on my credentials. I want you to verify everything I say and make your own conclusion. Also, I might go dark when my model succeeds, not fails. Few understand. And Bit Harrington chimed in, PlanB uses the same Bitcoin strategy like Satoshi Nakamoto. Few understand. Now, before I dive a little deeper and we discuss why 100,000 plus and why before December 2021, I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to hit 100,000 by the end of next year? Drop me a comment right down below. I do believe in the stock to flow model, and I do believe we'll surpass 100K by the end of 2021. That's just my 2 Satoshis. Now, the stock to flow model attempts to predict the long-term price trend of Bitcoin by evaluating its supply. Namely, it takes into consideration its fixed supply and the block reward reward halving, which reduces the rate at which new Bitcoin is produced or mined. The theory behind the stock to flow is that the supply of Bitcoin decreases over time and inflation would continuously rise. These two factors could theoretically amplify the uptrend of Bitcoin. Now, based on Bitcoin's supply curve and the halving cycles, stock to flow puts the expected valuation of Bitcoin at $5.5 trillion. The model predicts Bitcoin to reach a multi-trillion-dollar valuation before 2024. Also, keeping in mind the next Bitcoin halving is in 2024. The model reads, stock to flow X model estimates a market value of the next Bitcoin phased cluster. Bitcoin stock to flow will be 56 in 2020 to 2024 of $5.5 trillion. This translates into a Bitcoin price given 19 million Bitcoin in 2020 to 2024 of $288,000. And as I shared with you in his tweet, PlanB said he remains confident the stock to flow model's $100,000 price projection for Bitcoin would materialize. And 2021 is particularly important for Bitcoin because it follows a highly anticipated block reward halving in May of 2020. And as we all know, about 6 months ago, Bitcoin experienced its third halving in history. This decreased the number of Bitcoin mined each day by half, which would cause the circulating supply to drop over time. Now, so far following the halving, Bitcoin has increased from $8,700 to $15,500, recording a 78.1% rally in 6 months. Not too shabby, Bitcoin, and this bull rally is just getting started. If you're to ask me, I'd say we're in the bottom of the first inning. Now, the supply of Bitcoin is lower than on paper. On-chain analysts like woodbull.com creator Willy Woo say the total supply of Bitcoin is lower than often thought. While the total supply of Bitcoin is 21 million, there's a number of Bitcoin that is lost or dormant that can no longer be accessed. As Willy Woo points out right here on Twitter, total supply of Bitcoin will not be 21 million. It'll be around 17 million, as many coins died in the fight for being acknowledged as something valuable in the early days. This means 0.002 BTC per person on the planet. So there you have it. And before I break down our next story of the day, why this analyst thinks Bitcoin hits $17,000 in the next week, first, let's take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin pumping once again, up over 2% for the day, now trading above 15,500. I'd love for Bitcoin to retest that critical 16,000 resistance. I feel once we break through it, there's nothing but air between $16,000 and $20,000, and we can reach a new price discovery mode here in the fourth quarter of 2020. We have Ethereum up 1.9%, trading at $454. Chainlink up almost 1%, trading at $12.66. Miss Litecoin up 0.2%, trading just above $60.50. XRP barely in the red, trading at 25.3 cents. We also have BNB, EOS, and Tron also in the red. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin has dropped dramatically from the $16,000 highs, falling as low as $14,300 on Saturday. Then the crypto finally bounced though, returning to $15,500 at this current time. Not too shabby. That dip was very short-lived. I hope you took advantage of it. BTFD all day. Analysts are optimistic that the crypto could resume its ascent, potentially towards 17,000 or even 18,000, as the trends of this market remain positive. Brian Krogsgaard, a crypto trader best known as Ledger Status, recently stated that Bitcoin's primed to move towards $17,000. He shared the following: I think there's a decent chance Bitcoin breaches 17K and even into 18,000 in the next 10 days. We are due for a decent mid-time frame blow-off and chill for a bit, and the wicking into an all-time high cluster just feels so right. The path to 18,000 or an all-time high wick seems the path of least resistance. Nobody wants to sell until then, and then everybody is buying dips. Easiest way to create market balance is to do it quickly and then let the market chop around a bit. Now, he's not the only trader who's calling for Bitcoin to hit 17,000 in the near future. One analyst who predicted that Bitcoin will bottom at 3,200 during 2018's bear market recently stated the following: I can't help but feel, looking at the daily, that 5 up from the lows at 10,000 is not yet complete, and this dip is still just a wave 4. Also looking on the HTF charts for us to form a top here without actually tapping that 16,250 resistance also feels unlikely. So as the chart shows, Bitcoin is likely trading in an Elliott wave pattern, which will resolve with a final thrust to 17,000. Elliott wave is a form of technical analysis that suggests we're returning to patterns on the chart related to persistent changes in investor sentiment and psychology. Now, Elliott wave applied to Bitcoin's medium-term chart suggests the move to 17,000 is possible in the medium term, as you can see right here on your screen. Now, check this out. Election to be a boost for Bitcoin? I think so. The U.S. presidential election is expected to drive this market higher. The Analyst Light on Twitter noted that after the previous 3 elections, risk-taking amongst investors were commonplace. Bitcoin will benefit from risk-taking investment activity because Bitcoin is still seen as a risk-on asset at times. As you can see right here, equity flows post-election positive no matter who wins. An interesting chart from Matthew Miskin showing regardless who wins the election, there is a significant amount of capital deployed post an election using the last 3 elections. Will be interesting if the same will apply with the current election. That's why on November 5th, we saw a massive surge right after the election. Now, even though the election is not even officially done, they just have a projected winner. So who knows the shenanigans that is being played. And before I break down our next story of the day, according to JP Morgan analysts, a group of large investors may be ditching gold ETFs for Bitcoin, and they go on to share that Bitcoin could rise 10x as it competes with gold for institutional investors. And before I break this down, let's first take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at 446 billion with 107 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and current Bitcoin dominance is 64.4%. And now checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Aave up almost 21%, trading at $57.59. Near Protocol up 19%, trading at 86.5 cents. Ocean Protocol up about 11.5%, trading at 54 cents. Thorchain up 11%, trading at 59 cents. And Reserve Rights up 9.5%, trading at 1.4 cents. And now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100, we have BBC Coin down 4%, trading just below 28 cents. Cybervein down about 4%, trading at 9.3 cents. IOTA down 3%, trading at 25 cents. And Nexo down 2%, trading at 17 cents. Now, out of this list of the biggest gainers and losers, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Drop me a comment right down below. And now checking out the Binance futures margins, we can see the bears are barely in control, leading with 51.7% shorts versus 48.2% longs. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Holla at your boy. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, it's the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 90 in extreme greed. Yesterday an 82 in extreme greed, last week a 71 in greed, and last month a 53, which is neutral. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, like we're witnessing in the market right now, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, and before I break down our final story of the day and I share with you the latest from JP Morgan analysts who do go on to say that Bitcoin could rise 10x as it competes with gold for institutional investors, first I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 600 videos right here on my YouTube channel. I also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video in the description to receive daily crypto news alerts and help support the channel. If you're tuning in on a different platform outside of YouTube, the direct YouTube link is cryptonewsalerts.net. You can also find us on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is cryptonewsyes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram as I am, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. The New York-based financial giant JP Morgan reveals that large investors are putting their capital into Bitcoin at the expense of gold. That's right, Grayscale Managing Director Michael Sonnenschein shared a chart from a recent JP Morgan report showing that since October 2019, Bitcoin has left the precious metal in the dust in terms of demand. That's right, checking out his tweet right here on Twitter. Michael Sonnenschein goes on to share what makes the October flow trajectory for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust even more impressive is its contrast with the equivalent flow trajectory for gold ETFs, which overall saw modest outflows since mid-October via JP Morgan. And he added to that with this contrast lends support to the idea that some investors that previously invested into gold ETFs, such as family offices, may be looking at Bitcoin as an alternative to gold. Hashtag drop gold. And charts don't lie. Check this out. Outstanding shares for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and total known ETF holdings of gold. Bitcoin is the blue line and gold is in the black. And as you can see, Bitcoin is dominating on this chart as Bitcoin is a better version of gold than gold itself. You feel me? Now, what makes this also very ironic, let's not forget that Jamie Dimon, the JP Morgan Chase CEO, called Bitcoin a fraud back in 2017. And he said he'd fire any of his employees for touching or trading Bitcoin. And now they're embracing it. Why? Because they're forced to or get left behind. That, my friend, is a fact. The most recent report reiterates the U.S. banking giant's bullish stance on Bitcoin. In October, JP Morgan said that a shift in demographics will serve as a tailwind in Bitcoin's ascent. They shared the following: the potential long-term upside for Bitcoin is considerable as it competes more intensely with gold as an alternative currency, we believe, given that millennials would become over time a more important component of investors' universe. I also want to point out that Max Kaiser recently predicted a similar scenario in which Bitcoin will follow and eventually surpass gold. However, his price forecast was significantly more optimistic than JP Morgan Chase, as he saw a 40 to 80x surge for Bitcoin. As you can see right here, Warren Buffett will see his wealth hyperinflate while Bitcoin price does 40 to 80x, says Max Kaiser. Shout out to Max and Stacy Herbert of the Kaiser Report. All right, now for a quick recap of what I covered with you right here in today's show. Stock to flow creator PlanB has no doubt that Bitcoin will hit $100,000 by December of 2021, as he tweeted right here that Bitcoin will tap 100 to 288,000 before December 2021. Also, in today's episode, I shared why this analyst thinks Bitcoin hits $17,000 in the next week. Also, in today's episode, I shared that JP Morgan analysts say a group of large investors may be ditching gold ETFs for Bitcoin. We already know the charts don't lie, and they say Bitcoin could rise 10x as it competes with gold for institutional investors, as Michael Sonnenschein points out right here. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick before I go, if interested in attending this live event with Tika Tiwari entitled The Crypto Catch-Up, your last chance to get the life that you want, going down November 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, be sure to register by clicking that link right below the video in the description. It'll take you to this page. Simply enter your best email address and click the button that says sign me up. Also be sure to get on his VIP text message list. And as a free bonus just for attending, you will receive the name and ticker of Tika's top pick absolutely free. So go ahead and register, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.